What's up, guys? Welcome to my YouTube technical analysis stock market channel. We're going to go through some charts. This is the channel where we write our own stimulus checks. All right. So I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are pumping stimulus checks videos. I think it's just stupid, to be honest. It's just, I don't know. It's teach people how to make their own money is my motto, and make your own way in this world, and don't just tell people where to go to get a $1,200 stimulus check or whatever. It just, doesn't help anybody. But anyways, I'll get off of that. Let's get into these charts. Let's look what we got. All right, Nasdaq futures. Here's your breakdown. This was my support level, 88.32. We ramped up. Look at this candle right here. Ramped right above it, closed right below it. So that held as resistance, followed by big impulsive candle down, still selling off. So that is negative. Going lower, guys. Qs, it's breaking down. I mean, it's starting to break down. This should start to pick up some steam. But we're going to probably run into somewhere we're going to run into some sort of a consolidation range where it's just going to want to chop around for a little while. I don't expect this to just completely crash straight down. So this first move, which is what we're getting right now, is pretty impulsive. But after the impulsive move down, kind of the trap move, I guess, that traps in a lot of the long money, then we'll probably chop around. My bet is I bet we're going down to this 203, 204 range right in here. I've got this uptrend line. This is your decade-long bull market trend line on Qs, but there's also just this gap or pivot. You can look at it right here. Somewhere right, it's right about there. 203 to 204, somewhere right in there. I bet we chop around in here. So I think we're going to, in pretty short order, maybe today and Monday, maybe even today, I don't know, we get down to this 203, 204 range, and then we'll probably consolidate there for a couple days. But if you go back and watch a few videos ago where I was talking about this short trade that is playing out, I said that if we get back down to this level, we really don't have any business getting down to this level, and we're probably going to punch through it. So we've already tested it. We tested it here. We bounced off of that and started to break higher, and then if we come back down, we just don't. It's a second test, and we're probably going to punch through, and it's not going to hold. So that's what I think is going to happen. And honestly, I think that is, I'm trading for that. But we could consolidate around here for a little while. I don't think it's going to punch through all at once. It's going to give people hope that it's going to hold. This is where the bulls are going to try to make a stand to hold the uptrend that they have. They're going to try to step in here. So I think we'll chop around, consolidate a little bit, move up and down like that. And then finally, one day on some news or something, or a gap overnight, we'll break. All right, SPY. SPY. All right, nothing bullish on this chart. I don't see anything bullish. Look, I'm just going to point out everything that I see and the reason why this is completely bearish. One, and this is the stock market. So, I mean, this is a good, you want to keep an eye on this. I like to use the Qs because I think it's where the money's to be made. But, this gives you an idea of where the general market's probably heading. All right, bearish rising wedge right here on the hourly. We broke down, so that was a sell signal. But then we back tested. Back test here. This is kind of a back test. We didn't quite get there. And then another back test. All the time pretty much making divergent highs. You can see each high was making, a lower or equal high. Divergence started here. I'm on the hourly, but if you go to the daily, I believe the divergence is there. Let me look. Yeah, right there. Well, no, that's a huge divergence. I don't use the divergences too much. I found that, they can give you an idea of when things are going to break. I prefer to, I keep an eye on them, but then I prefer to kind of just look at the trend lines. Going back to the hourly. All right, bearish rising wedge, some back tests. Now this right here, this price action right here is a breakout. What I want to point out is this zone here. Let me see if I can find the tool to mark it up. All right, it took me a second to find that tool. Here's the zone. This is the trading zone, all right? And this is what I was saying in a lot of videos is we're just kind of coiling up for a move either up or down. And we did that for a period, for several days, about 11 days, I believe, is what I pointed out. And we broke to the upside. We broke out to the upside. So this is a breakout, all right? This price action right here, look at this. We broke higher, came back tested, and then gap higher. At this moment in time, the chart was bullish. And I said that in the video. I said, look, it's a break higher. Everything's bullish, but look at the volume, all right? Barely any volume. When you see a breakout above a kind of a coiled trading zone, you want to see volume that's popping. I'd like to see, you want to see volume way up here. People are jumping on that breakout like stocks are, cheap. And they do that because they think stocks are going to go higher. Well, that just wasn't the case. People weren't jumping on that breakout. And so when I pointed that out in a comment and said, look, guys, the volume isn't there on this breakout. It doesn't look real. And sure enough, gap down today. You look at the title of my last video, my video that I put out yesterday morning. I said, I think we're getting a gap down tomorrow. So called that one 100%. And gap down and then impulsive sell-off. We've come back down into this zone. So that means false breakout. That's a false breakout right there. And that is bearish. So we've got bearish rising wedge pattern. We've got a false breakout pattern. Just all around, just bearish. So I think we're heading down in that one. Moving on, XLV looks good. Same kind of, really the same thing as SPY. Bearish rising wedge, and now I've got a lot of trend lines marked out because these are going to be kind of profit lines as we head down. Bearish rising wedge and breakdown. So here's your breakdown out of the pattern. Chop sideways a little bit. Here's a divergent high. Just made a marginal new high right there, but with no momentum really. And then breaking down. So heading lower in that one. Microsoft still in trend, still flagging. This one's still holding up, but it should break down. Bearish rising wedge, sideways pattern, starting to break down. This one, you want to see a break of this flag to set this thing in motion. Apple, they're tricky. They're tricky on Apple, aren't they? Today it gapped down below all these support lines, but instantly recovered it. The buyers just stepped in instantly. And now it's selling back off, but they've recovered the trend line. So ultimately, still bullish on Apple. However, given that we're having a breakdown in the Qs, I don't think Apple's going to hold up too much longer. You need to take, you don't want to evaluate Apple in a complete silo. You want to make sure that you're also keeping an eye on the SPY and other stocks and indices as well. You don't have to go short this. I mean, it doesn't necessarily scream a short because there's no sell signal, but I wouldn't go long, and that's just my opinion. All right, moving on. Google, still in the uptrend, so nothing really there. No opinion. I mean, I wouldn't be long, but you don't have to short either. If I had to pick anything, I'd be short because I think it's going to come down to this lower trend line down here, but that's just my opinion. Costco just kind of chopping sideways. This is kind of a defensive play, so people rush to this, and I'm seeing that in Walmart today as well. See Walmart, we go to the hourly here. Gap down, sold off yesterday. Today they're bidding it up. Maybe they want to bid it up to this 124, but ultimately this is a false breakout right up here on the hourly. So even if even if they want to pop it back up to resistance, it's just a back test. They're testing resistance again. I think we're heading lower, and I'm looking at 118 basically as kind of my first target. So I'm gonna I'll let this thing do whatever it wants to do as long as it's below this trend line. We've had a false breakdown, and we should sell off. No big deal there. SOXX. So semiconductors, leading indicator of tech. This is typically where the semis go. They fall they go first and they fall farther and harder than big large cap tech. And look at that. Just this is everything you want to see when it comes to a breakdown of a bearish pattern. This is how they do it. So you make a bearish pattern, a bearish rising wedge, and usually when when these things break, they don't usually just give you the break during the day. They don't give everyone an opportunity to get short, and they don't give everyone who's long, who's been riding this uptrend, an opportunity to get out with all their money. So what happens is they gap it down. Everyone realizes that the pattern's over, and they start selling. And all right, so these are all longs and shorts piling on, but these are all longs that realize pattern's over. It's not bullish anymore. Let's get out with what money we have, and so they sell, and that's what we're seeing. So here's 215.34. I think is probably first profit target there. I've got a position in that one. Tesla, look at that big old breakdown. Don't feel sorry for the bears. Whoever commented on that, I mean, it gapped higher yesterday after the earnings, and it's down 21% from there. So the CEO came out and pretty much gave no confidence in his own stock price, which is obviously the reason why it's selling off today. But if you look at it, it was already selling off. The price, the CEO didn't come out. I'll show you here where he actually said it, right here. So this is when it started selling, I believe, was right here. And this is from the CEO saying that he thinks the stock price is too high. But look at the price action ahead of it. It was already selling. So clearly we're selling off. It was priced in that we were going to fall. So it's interesting how the headlines follow the charts is all I'm saying. This chart was set up to move down, to go lower, finding a little bit of support right there. Maybe, I guess they're going to try to hold it right there at this, let's see here, at this 687. I marked it out. That's the gap entry basically. So it looks like they're going to try to hold it there. I still think we gap fill though at 650. So whether it's, I think it's next week. We probably gap fill next week. Maybe they try to consolidate, move it a little higher, and then we move lower. Okay, let's see what else we got going on. Amazon. Yeah, look, we've got a price range right up in here. There's your support. Support's broken as of right now. So, go to the last candle. You can see we broke and closed below support right there with a follow-up candle. If this closes down here, that's bearish for Amazon, and that means we're probably coming down to right there in the near term. There's a gap right there, and then you've got a support or resistance range, so coming down to that level. Again, that's all just bearish for the general market, for the Qs. So we'll just watch this, but that's really it. I pointed out these levels, let everyone know kind of what I'm watching. Everything's working out so far today, so we'll continue to let this run. There's nothing that tells me to get out of my trades or to cover my short positions. In fact, I mean, I'm only seeing evidence right now of adding to my positions, although I already have a pretty sizable short position across the board. I'm basically long nothing. I am long one silver and gold mining company, but pretty much short across the board. And as we start to move down, move lower, I'll start to cover some of these short positions, take some of these off. But as of right now, this breakdown's just starting, and I think we're going to go lower in the coming days to weeks. So thanks, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you find value in the content. Let me know if you guys want to see analysis on any specific stock or ETF or something, and I'll try to put those in my next video. Thanks. Take care. Bye.